It's that super flow, no, she my flow. Yeah, yeah. It's that.
So we have seen a different types of inheritance: single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance, and we have also seen an example that shows that this particular multiple inheritance, why it is not supported, right? And we said that whenever you are writing a extends keyword, make sure that you don't write a class name followed by the comma. That means when you are writing a comma means you are trying to acquire a properties from a more than one class, right? When you are trying to acquire a properties from a more than one class, then you are going with the multiple inheritance, and the system will clearly say that this particular type of a multiple inheritance is not supported with respect to Java, right? So these are the things which we have discussed in the last class. I just go through the slides whatever we have seen in the last class so that you will get a better idea about the things, right? So these were the types of inheritance which I was talking about, and this is a multiple inheritance, and we said that this particular multiple inheritance is not supported with respect to a Java. And we are seeing on a slide there is a one more category, a question in a chat box. But sir, what if public class C extends B extends C? Public class B, public class C extends B. See, with respect to Java, if you are writing this particular code, it will show you a error saying that once you write a extends, uh, it mean extends a last one. Let me finish the statement. What I'm saying is, in a Java, if you are writing a extends keyword, so after extend keyword, it will expect only class name, only one class name. After that one class name, it will expect a bracket for you. If you have any other statements, it will show you error saying that the bracket was expected and you are writing something else. We will see that one example then. I'll show you what kind of error it will show you. Okay. So in the last class, we have discussed why multiple inheritance is not supported. And here we have one more diagram which shows like a hybrid inheritance, right? I think we have not discussed about this one in the last class. Okay. So why we didn't discuss this particular topic in the last class is I just wanted you people to be clear with all the previous existing classes, right? So if you are clear with all these previous existing classes, and if you are clear with why this particular multiple inheritance is not supported, then we can come to a conclusion whether a hybrid inheritance is supported or not supported, right? First of all, what is a hybrid inheritance? Hybrid inheritance in the sense, if you are using a more than one type of inheritance, if you are using more than one type of inheritance, right? So if you are combining more than one type of inheritance, then it will be called as hybrid inheritance, right? Now coming to this particular two diagrams, if I go to a first diagram with respect to a hybrid, what type of inheritance we are using with respect to our first three classes, that is a class A, class B and a class C. What type of inheritance is this? Is this a multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multi-level inheritance? What type of inheritance is this? Inheritance with respect to class A, B and a C. A, B and a C, what type of inheritance is this? Hierarchical inheritance, right? So hierarchical inheritance, you will be having a one particular parent class, so different classes will be acquiring a properties from this particular parent class. This is hierarchical inheritance, and obviously hierarchical inheritance is supported with respect to Java. Yes, come to a below part. So this particular three classes, right? When you are looking at a diagrams of a B, C and a D, what kind of a means what kind of a inheritance is this one?
Multiples.
Multiple, right? So now this particular hybrid inheritance is nothing but a combination of hierarchical inheritance and multiple inheritance, right? And we have clearly shown that this particular multiple inheritance is not supported with respect to a Java, right? So when this particular multiple inheritance is not supported, obviously this complete diagram will not be supported, right? So this is case 1. This is another case. If you are considering the starting 3 diagrams, starting 3 classes, is it a hierarchical? Yes, this is a hierarchical. Now, if I look at a class B and a D, is it a single inheritance? Yes, single inheritance. From a C and E, is it a single inheritance? Yes, single inheritance. Now, this is nothing but a combination of hierarchical and a single inheritances, right? And both the structures are supported by your Java itself. That means it supports your hierarchical and it supports your single level inheritance also, right? Now, it is feasible to implement this particular structure, and it is not feasible to implement this particular structure, right? So now what a conclusion we can draw with respect to hybrid? That means for some cases, if there is something like a multiple inheritance has been used, if there is a multiple inheritance used, then you cannot go with a hybrid, right? If you don't have a multiple inheritance used within the structure of a class diagram, then you can go with the hybrid, right? If you want to draw a conclusion saying whether a Java supports hybrid or not, right, there is some condition. What is the condition? Condition is such that there should not be any multi-level inheritance used in the class diagram, right? So hybrid type of inheritance is not supported, because if there is a multiple inheritance, then a class diagram cannot be a valid one. Clear with the things? Understood a hybrid inheritance?
Sir, I said like yesterday we studied about multiple inheritance. Like Java will not support,
Yes,
but
Java will not support.
in hybrid we have 4 classes
Hmm.
that Java will support. How? I didn't get.
No, I'm not saying that Java will support hybrid. I'm saying that Java will not support a hybrid because there might be existence of a multiple inheritance in that.
Okay, then the hybrid also will not support by Java.
No, hybrid also not supported with respect to Java.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Hybrid is not supported with respect to Java just because there might be a possibility of multiple inheritance with respect to class diagram.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? There was a question with respect to in a chat box. Sir, which OOPS supports multiple inheritance? Okay. So if you want to go with a multiple inheritance with respect to a Java, you can use something called as interfaces. Interfaces we will see in a further classes. By using interfaces, you can go with the multiple inheritance kind of stuff in a Java itself. That is a one thing. When you go to other programming languages, say for example Python, if you are going with the Python will support a multiple inheritance because the way of accessing those methods is slightly different in a Python, right? But if you want to achieve a multiple inheritance in a Java, you have to use the inheritance, and that we will see in a further classes when we start with the inheritance concept. Defining a subclass, this was a diagram which we have seen. There is a small application, small example which uses the same inheritance concept. Just to go through this particular application, we are just creating a class called a calculation. It has got an implementation for addition and a subtraction. This is one class, right? We are creating one more class called as a my calculation, which extends the calculation. Okay, so what were the previous methods in a calculation? You were having an addition and a subtraction. Now by extending that particular class, you are introducing a multiplication also. That means with respect to a my calculation class, now you can access addition, subtraction and a multiplication, right? So from a main method, you might be doing those things. See, created an object of a my calculation and calling a method called addition, subtraction and a multiplication, both the three. right? So a simple example which explains how what kind of a inheritance is this. You are extending only one class, so it is called as single level inheritance, right? So that was an example. Okay, what you can do in a subclass. Okay, so let us see the points what I have defined, and if you are clear with these points, right? Point number one, the inherited fields can be used directly just like any other fields. Is it so? Okay. Inherited fields can be used directly just like any other fields. Yes, we have taken a method and we have seen we are just using those method as if it is belonging to that particular inherited class itself. Yes, that was a one conclusion. You can declare a field in the subclass with the same name as the one in the superclass, thus hiding it, not recommended. What does it mean? We can declare a field in the subclass with the same name as the one in the superclass, thus hiding it, not recommended. Let me go to the example which we have discussed in the last class. So we share the screen for you. Yes, this was a multiple inheritance example, and we said that this is not supported, and let us not take a class C. Let us restrict our discussion with respect to two classes. Okay, so we have a class A which is having a method m1 and a class B which is having a method called a m2. Okay, so let me extend this particular class, extends class A, right? So now when it is extending a class A, so method m1 will be available with respect to m2, right? So now let me do a small change. If I say int x is equal to 10, right? So where I am writing this particular int x equal to 10 in the class A, right? Now with respect to a class B, I will declare a same name, but I will give a value as a 20. Okay, so here let me just print whatever is the value of x. Correct. So what was the point that was discussed with respect to a PPT? Your PPT was saying something like this. You declare a field in the subclass. Am I declared a field in a subclass? I have declared int x is equal to 20. That is the field in a subclass. Yes.
Yes, sir.
You can declare a field in a subclass with the same name as the one in a superclass. Yes, even I have declared int x is equal to 10 in a superclass. Thus, hiding it, not recommended. That means whatever the value you have declared previously, right? Whatever the value you have declared previously, I hope a screen is showing yes. Whatever value you have declared previously, that will be hidden now, right? Because in this particular scope, see, we are saying extended means extends in the sense whatever the properties you have defined here, everything should be available with respect to class B also. Yes, it is taking all the values, but if there is a match with respect to common properties, any values, then this particular property will be hidden. Only this particular property will be shown. Right? So if I run this program, I'm creating a parent P class. One second. What was the class? We have taken a B, right? B, so that is object of a B class is equal to new B, right? So using a B object, let me call the method called IEM. Right. So if I run the program, what is the class name? I don't wanted to type it again, so I'm just copying that particular class name. Javac dot Java. Right. So it is showing you a message, a proper message of a child class, right? Because you are calling M1. And x value, it is taking your local declaration, that is int x is equal to 20 with respect to a class B, but not with respect to class A's. Right? Clear with the point? Right? So what was the point it was saying? If you have a declared any property with respect to a subclass, right? And if a same property is available with respect to a parent class, right? So then that particular property of a parent class will be hidden, right? So that was the conclusion. Right. So let us quickly move to a next point. Right. You can declare a new fields in the subclass that are not in the superclass. Yes, we can declare anything in a subclass after acquiring the properties, complete properties of a parent class. We have seen the inherited methods can be used directly as they are. Same, no controversies in this particular statement. Inherited methods can be used as if they are the methods of that particular class itself. No controversy. Right. You can write a new instance method in the subclass that has the same signature as the one in the superclass, thus overriding it. Whether a point is clear, confusing? And one more thing I'll tell you, if I just display these particular points and say you like these are the things which can be done with respect to a subclass, when a question is asked on these things, you should by heart these particular points and represent those things without a knowledge of how exactly the things are going to work. My only intention is I don't want to give any hypothetical statements saying that this is how it will be there. I just wanted to show you how exactly the things are going to work. That is the only reason why I am displaying a point to you, explaining a point, and then programmatically I am changing according to the statement and justifying you. Right? I am sure and I am clear that this particular point, whatever I have displayed the last point, will not be that much clear. Okay, so let us read the statement carefully, then we will modify the things according to the program. Right. So what the statement is saying, you can write a new instance method. That means you can write a method in the subclass that has the same signature. That means whatever method is there with respect to superclass, you can write a same kind of a method with respect to subclass also. Yes, as the one in the superclass. Yes, thus overriding it. Overriding, what is the meaning of overriding? Overriding in the sense, whatever the previous definitions you have given with respect to that particular method in a superclass, be clear with each and every statement whatever I am saying. What I am saying is, whatever the method definition you have given with respect to the superclass, right? If you are writing a same method again in a subclass, right, the previous definition will be erased and the new definition will come into existence. Right? So what does it mean? Let me just quickly go through the program and show you what exactly this statement means. Right. So now what I'm saying is, let me remove this particular value of x. Remove this x. What the statement is saying is, if you have a m1 here, if you have a method m1 here, and if a same method is there here also, right? Yesterday actually this question was asked by Jagadish, and I told that this is not a proper way of writing a program. I given a justification saying that when you will be going for an inheritance concept is when you know that m1 is already there, and why you want to give a one more definition for a m1, right? So this is how I justified in the last class, right? And I didn't execute that one. I didn't show that it is going to show you an error or this particular way of writing this program is not recommended by JVM. I didn't tell all those things. I just told that this is not the way how that particular inheritance need to be used, right? And I have told that when you know that few methods are already there in a class A, don't write one more definition for that one. So this is what the explanation I gave, right? So I remember what explanation I gave in the last class. Now the scenario is something different in the sense, I know that there is a method called a M1 in a class A. Now my requirement is, I don't want to use whatever the definition has been given for a M1. I wanted to give my own definition with respect to a class B. This will be something like, say for example, in one college there will be a few rules for internals, few rules. Now you are writing an open book test, but in some other colleges they will not be using that particular kind of a structure, right? Now what I'm saying is, in a class A, that means in one college, internals has been taken in a one particular fashion. I'm just relating the statements with respect to program. What I'm saying is, in one college, internals have been taken in a one particular fashion, right? Now with respect to a class B, that means one more college, even this is a college, means it will be extending a few properties of a previous college. Even it is conducting internals, but not in the same fashion. Now the fashion is different. When the fashion is different, M1 is already there. Now you are extending a class A. M1 will come here also. That means there will be existence of a M1 in this scope. I don't want to use this particular M1. Rather, I want to give a new definition for a M1, saying that this is what you have to use. Right? Now, if I compile my program, see, I am creating an object of a B. So by using the object of a B, I'll be writing a M1. Right. Now with respect to B, can I say that you were already having a definition for a M1, but now you are giving a new definition for a M1? Can I say something like this? As a class B is extending A, you got a one definition from a class A. But I don't want to take that particular definition. I am giving a one more definition for my class A. That means one more definition for a method M1 in my class B, right? If I execute this program now, whichever is the latest definition that you have given for the method M1, that particular definition will be taken, not the definition given in its parent class. Okay, and this process is called as method overriding. Overriding in the sense, there was some definition given, but now you are giving a one more definition. And be clear, when you are taking a methods from a parent class to a child class, right? If already definition exists, then a method overriding will take place. Overriding in the sense, previous definitions will be erased and the new definitions will be given for the method. Expecting questions in the chat box.
Sir,
yes.
I didn't get this.
You didn't get this overriding concept?
Yes, sir.
Overriding concept is a simple. First, be clear with a word called a override. Override in the sense, previously you will be having some definition. After some time, if you are writing that particular method once again and giving a new values or a new definition, means the previously written definition will be erased and you will be getting a new definition for us, right? So what we have done is, in a class A, we have created a method called a M1. For the method M1, you gave us some definition. Some definition has been given. Now what I'm saying is, once I say class B extends class A, right? So what I am saying is, all the methods of A should now be available with respect to method B also. This is what we have said. Now what I am saying is, if you have two methods with the same name and the same signature in the sense, even argument list should be same. That means those methods should be matching. When they are matching, the system won't accept the method which has been inherited from the class A, rather it will take a definition which has been given in the method in the class B. Right? Overriding in the sense, I was having a previous method, but my class B is giving a one more definition, so I'm not going to accept this previous definition. I'll be going with the definition given by my present class, that is a class B. Right? So this is called as method overriding. Overriding in the sense, giving a one more new definition for the existing method.
Thank you, sir. Got it.
Understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Any questions? Expecting the questions. Sir, this inheritance property is applicable for a nested classes? Applicable. When you are saying a class, see, it is up to you whether you want to keep it as a simple class or a nested class. No problem. Say for example, for a class A, here I have a one more class called as a class X. Now this is a nested class concept. I can extend a class B. So I can say class B extends a class A. When I'm saying it is extending a class A, so it will be having all the properties of this particular class A within a class B. So possible, no problem in that. But that is a rare kind of a requirement. See, generally the concept of a nested classes itself is a rare requirement. You will not be using a nested classes regularly. Shall we proceed with the points which are there with respect to a slide? Inherited methods can be used directly as they are. Okay, so these points we have seen. Overriding also we have discussed. Then, you can write a new static method in the subclass that has the same signature as the one in a superclass, thus hiding it. You are not overriding it, rather you are hiding it, right? So what does the definition says? Okay, so let me change the things with respect to a program and show you how exactly the things will work if you have a something called as a static class. Right, now static void, I'll take a S1. Right, so I'll just write a system.out.println statement over here, copy, paste. Let me just write from S1, right? So when you hear a statement called a S1, you should be clear that this is from a static method from class A. Okay, so let me copy this part, paste it here. Now let me make the differentiation. Let me make it as S2. Okay, before I run this particular program, you should be clear with the static method. 1 second, maybe lagging. Right, static method are with respect to a class. That means they are class level methods, right? When I say class level methods, this particular static void S1 will be associated always with respect to A, and this particular static method S1, this particular void S1, this method will be always associated with the B only. Right, now if I call b dot s1, it will print if I call b dot s1, it will print s2 itself, from a s2 itself. But what the statement is saying is, it is not going to override this particular s1, rather it will be just hiding this particular information of s1, right? So if I run the program for this particular example, Java C inherit demo, right? You are getting a S2 itself, but what the conclusions are given is here you are not going with the method overriding, rather you are just hiding the S1 implementation in class A. That means that will be hidden, only this particular S1 definition will be there. But here in this case it is saying that there is a something called as overriding a thing which is going to happen. That means M1 will be available, so but M1 will not be used. That M1 definition from which has came from a class A will not be used, rather a M1 definition which is defined within a class B, that will be taken. That means overriding of a previous method will happen, but if you are using anything like a static method, overriding will not happen, but a previous value, previous definition of a method will be hidden. Whichever definition you are giving with respect to a class B, only that will be shown as class are directly related to a static methods, right? So static method is a class level method, so whichever definition you are giving presently, that will be taken. The previous definition will be hidden. Any questions? This is a internal working of the things. I cannot, means if I want to show exact working how it is going to take place and all, then I have to do so many alterations. If I do all those alterations, the program will be confusing for you. So for a time being, you just understand that if you have a same static methods, date means hiding of a method will take place. If it is a normal method, then the overriding concept will come. Sir, you are saying that S1 will be hidden, then what if we don't write S1 itself? Okay, you are saying S1 you don't want to write with respect to a object B. It's a good question asked. Right, let us do this one, no problem. Saved. Let us check, will it call the its parent one or not? From where S2 has come? Whether we have written S2? I think I didn't save the changes I have done. Okay. What has happened? It is given S1. S1 it is given because extending means all the properties are available. That means now a static void S1 is given for you, right? The point comes, what was the point we are talking? We were talking something like if you had a static method in the class B also, which is matching with this name, right? So that was a point. If you had a static method which is matching with respect to this particular definition, right? So now it is not going to perform what is called as method overriding. It is saying that it will not perform a method overriding, rather it is saying that this particular definition will be hidden, a new definition will be given for this particular. This is a similar to, in the previous example I wrote a something like a int x is equal to 10, x is equal to 10. I wrote at x at a class A, and here in a class B I wrote a something called int x is equal to 20, and I showed that local definition will be given a priority, right? So for a time being, even you think that your static methods will behave in that particular fashion. A question from Brahan. Sir, can child class object access parent class method? Yes, if they are extending, then a child class object can access a parent class method. Parent class cannot access the specific methods of a child class. Parent cannot take your pocket money. but you can take a money from a parent. That is a child class. Yeah, child class object can access a parent class method. You came to a single inheritance concept. This is M1, and let me say this one is M2. Now, which is a parent class? Parent class. What is the parent class method? M1 is a parent class method. M2 is the child class method. Right? You are asking question something like this. Can I use a child class for accessing parent class method? Can't it be written? By creating object of a class B, can't we access a M1 method when they are extending? When you say extending, this M1 will be available for a class B also. Then by using a child class object, you can easily call the parent class method. Again, I am telling you, intention is nowhere to confuse you people. Whether things are clear with respect to a normal method inheritance and a static method inheritance. For a time being, just keep in mind the statement saying that if the methods are static, the previous definitions will be hidden. If a method is a non-static, previous definition will be overridden. Hidden, overridden. Hidden in the sense, no new definitions will be created because it is a class level. When it is a class level, it will be loaded during the class load event of that particular class. Internal details, don't worry about that one. For a time being, you just keep in mind the statement saying that if you have a same methods, same static methods defined in both class A and B, then a class B will hide the previous definition of that particular static method. It will display only the static method defined in a class B. But if you are going with the overriding, the previous definition will be overridden and a new definition will be given with respect to a class B. So static method hiding, we can declare a new methods in a subclass that are not in a superclass. Yes, we have said. And you can write a subclass constructor that invokes the constructor of a superclass either implicitly or by using a keyword called a super. And this particular point we will discuss in the next session